G'day viewers, this is another perspective or different perspective on planting macadamia trees, which we did a couple of months ago in our little orchard. Going through the video and going through the steps, there are about 9 steps that we perform to plant a tree. And here I'm getting ready for a couple of those steps, getting the water ready and bringing down a little shovel to move some dirt around. And you can see there we had a lot of trouble with the hose. We just used a standard garden hose coming down the hill using gravity-fed water. Cheapest option, possibly not the best option, not the most reliable option. A bit problematic, but it did the job. But when you're doing a 100-meter run of hose and you've got like 4 or 5 segments of hose, it's a bit of a hassle. So anyway, here I am. I prepared the hole by digging a bit of the dirt out, and then the tree. Then we start to water the hole and cutting the plastic sleeve of the tree, getting the tree out of that plastic sleeve. And that's quite a nice little tree, that one. It's nice and straight and beautiful. And then backfilling the hole with the dirt. So a lot of action here. And then once that's done, I think possibly we'll give the tree a bit of fertilizer, which we use Blood and Bone. Quite a mild fertilizer, high in nitrogen and potassium, I think. Or maybe not so much potassium, maybe more phosphorus. And I believe that macadamia trees are not keen on phosphorus. They don't like it because they're an Australian tree, and Australian soils naturally are pretty lacking in phosphorus. So then going to mulch. I'll get a rake and rake up some cut grass, some straw to mulch the tree while it's being watered. Yeah, so, and then I'm getting ready to do the next tree as well. After we did it this way, we sort of cut down a bit on the steps, and we just did the mulching and the tree guard and all that later. We just sort of started banging the trees in and just getting them in and not worrying about the mulching and the tree guard. So all this up takes a few more minutes than what it would otherwise, what we did afterwards. So there, I'm sort of bending the tree, get the cardboard in shape to form a guard around the trunk of the tree. We primarily did this to try to protect against frost, but since that time, since May when we planted the tree, going through to August, as we are now, late July, August, I don't think we've had any frost, which is good. So then I get the guard there and putting the straw around the tree. And that's really about how we planted that's really how we planted the trees. Pretty straightforward. Hopefully it's not too wrong because we did about 350 of them this way. But I think it's okay because you can see some of the trees in the background. They were planted last year the same sort of way, and they're still doing okay. And that was after a really bad 2019. After those trees were planted last year, it was a drought at the time we planted them, and that drought continued all through 2019 from May through to December. And around December, we had really, really bad bushfires in this area. And so it was really horrific weather. Fortunately for us, the fires did not hit our orchard, but they came within that bush you can see in the background that got burnt out. So it came very close, and it would have burnt it out, except we had a wind change in the middle of the night when the fires were burning. So we were fortunate in that way, very fortunate, and we give our thanks for that. So barring a big frost and barring a bushfire and barring a drought, three big factors, these trees, which are the 849 variety, or Hawaiian variety, they should grow fairly big, especially down the bottom here where the soil is much richer than up the top. When we dug the holes, we found that the soil down the bottom of the hill is quite deep, very black. Basically, it was the silt that's washed down over the years and collected down there. So these trees should do pretty fine, I think. Should do quite well. So going back to get more straw, I think we mulched the trees in two different ways when we planted them. Roughly the first half we mulched with the straw. The second half we mulched with wood chip. A lot of people say that wood chip is no good for mulching newly planted trees, that the wood chip steals nitrogen from the soil. I tend to not believe that. But if you look at a pile of wood chip, yes, it's some contact with the soil, but most of the wood chip is in the air. It's sort of up above the ground, one way or another, in the pile. And so I don't think that the microbes breaking down the wood chip would be going down to the soil to get their nitrogen. I think they'd be getting it from the air around the wood chip, mainly. But what we're doing would be a bit of an experiment. We can compare the trees that were mulched with wood chip and those mulched with straw, as we did here, and then we can see. So anyway, I think that what am I doing? I'm straightening out the hose again because there's a bit of a kink in the hose. That was a big problem for us. That always happened. I'm not sure if there's a better way of watering. Maybe having the water trailer towed by a vehicle closer to the planting, that might be the go, but we don't have a vehicle suitable for that. No, yes, no. Oh well, that's the end of the video. The drone's sort of running out of power. So I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, give us a like. If you didn't like it, give us a thumbs down as well. Thank you. Bye.